my taxpayers are not interested in funding this, so I'm going to bust your butt to some place where the taxpayers are saying that it's important to them. And I think that this is more of a...
It does seem very logical, as much as people give him about that.
Except that Texas is part of the United States, so it has to follow federal law. And immigration is not a state law, it's a federal law, right?
But that's why I'm saying that it should be more of a state
But it can't be a state law, because you don't immigrate to a state, you don't remain within the state. If you are within a state and you will only stay within the state can have everything, but that's not how it works, right? We have freedom of motion here. So you have freedom of movement, right? So
geologic timescale.
Yes. Tell me about the geologic timescale.
There are ice ages and warming ages repeatedly.
Yeah.
There's really nothing you can do about it. And so we have this kind of like, dare I say, I don't know, can I say the word elitist, or is that going to send off a flag? You have these like elitist people and cultures where it's kind of like a luxury goods market, right? Like it's a rarity to try to save the planet. Well, they're all making a ton of money off of it at the end of the day, while they fly around their jets.
Again, back to Truman, like starting there is the kind of the foundation for this. The U.S. had its house in order then.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of easy to step out and do it. I don't know that we have our house in order right now. So it's really difficult to look at what's going on in Ukraine and say, should we be involved there? They're not a NATO ally.
So this was a transsexual person who was in a play, and the topic was precisely that.
Ay, Dios
It is
mío.
important to mention that my
you were
son
gonna go to
goes to a
Spanish.
private Catholic school
Ay, Dios
in the
mío.
Houston area.
Wow.
So I could be friends with families who are okay with that topic. I really could. I don't have an issue with that. The issue I have is, why was that brought into a school setting?
But he really does his homework. He does
Pure fiction, of course, because why would any agency of the United States ever be interested in overthrowing a foreign government in a small country?
Never happened.
It's never happened.
How much of that is the idea of you want the battle in somebody else's yard, not our backyard? So we're willing to fund that and have the Ukrainians fight Russia and everything else that's happening, or what's happening in Israel, but keep the fighting out of the U.S.
It's like a weird obsession we have. We're like the first generation or two or whatever, and it's the entire 300,000 years of Homo sapiens that has been like preoccupied with doing things, and no sacrifice is too great to preserve the climate and whatever, and we got to stop eating beef and everything. Like, we're really obsessed with making sure that something doesn't wipe us out, even though we have no control over 1,000 different things that could end humanity, including our own inability to look away from a screen that's 6 inches in front of our face.
I think it's self-aggrandizing. It's like if you're paranoid and you assume everybody's listening to you, they're probably not. They're probably not interested.
They probably they don't know who you are.
And so it's are we all that significant? Maybe not.
Yeah.